Hello guys, welcome back to my 11th commentary video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about LeBron James. More specifically, we're going to be talking about how LeBron James can still do slam dunks at the age of 40 years old. Now you guys may be wondering, what is a slam dunk? So I'm going to answer that question first. Well, a slam dunk is when you're playing basketball. You guys know what basketball is, so I'm not going to explain that. But a slam dunk is when you're playing basketball, and then you jump up to the rim with the ball, and then you basically place the ball in the hoop, and you get points for scoring the basketball in the hoop. Now, I'm going to be explaining today to you guys how LeBron James manages to do this at the age of 40, nearly 41 years old. So basically, how he does this is he uses his leg muscles. So when he goes up to the rim, he goes into sort of like a squatting, not really a full squatting position, but it's like kind of similar to that. And then he extends his legs as fast as possible. And then, so what that does is that makes it so he launches himself in the air. It is something that takes quite a bit of energy, so if you guys are going to try and replicate this for yourself at home, please do keep in mind that it's probably going to take a lot of energy. And so, yeah, so this is why LeBron James is, pretty good at basketball, probably because he practices the jumping a lot. And I do have a little bit of a theory behind this, that maybe he's not just practicing in basketball, but instead, when he goes home, maybe he tries to jump up to hoops on his own time at home. And I think that would be a good practicing method, kind of getting ahead of all the other players, because while the other players are going to be playing basketball sort of in the basketball game, he's going to be at home practicing basketball, and everyone else, they're just going to be thinking that the next time they play basketball, it'll just be like a fun little game. Little do they know, LeBron James is having so much practice of basketball, and so he's going to outperform all of them, and this is basically how he gets a lot of his skill, by doing lots and lots of practice. I don't know how I lived that, but that was awesome. So, yeah, LeBron James basically does this, and this isn't something you would want to reveal to the general public, so I'm going to hold you guys accountable and say please do not tell anyone about his secret strategy, because I actually have more things I haven't yet told you about, and I think you guys would be happy to learn about them. So, one of the things I haven't told you about is the fact that he might be using he might be using weights when he practices jumping. And what this is going to do is this is going to weigh him down. And so when he jumps, it's going to take a lot more energy to jump. And so the fact he's jumping, it's going to take him a lot more energy to jump. And so by doing this, he's basically giving himself a harder task to do. So then when the real task comes to the table, he's prepared, because he's like, oh, I've already done much harder than this, so this isn't even a challenge to me. This is just something that I could do in my sleep. And so LeBron James ends up doing a lot better because of that. I don't know if that's true though, so please do not take my word for granted, because I don't know if he's actually using weights or not, or if he's just jumping on his own. Because some people might think that maybe the weights are actually going to limit him if he tries to use that method. So maybe that would be a reason why he wouldn't use that method, because the weights could limit him. So you wouldn't want to do that, because you don't want to be limited. You want to be able to play to your fullest ability, right? So that would obviously not be a good idea for him. Michael! Yeah. So, some other people theorize that he may be using this other forbidden method. So stay tuned in the video to figure out what this forbidden method might be. So what the method might be is, personally, I have at my home I have ceilings, and what you can do with the ceilings is you can jump up and you can try and touch the ceilings. And so what you're doing here is, when you're practicing jumping up and touching the ceilings, you're actually practicing basketball pretty much. So, because it's basically like you're jumping up to a rim and you're gonna hit the rim. And so that's how LeBron James maybe practices his basketball. Because we all know LeBron James is nice and rich. So there's no question that he has really tall ceilings. And so these are probably gonna help him jump a lot higher, because if you think about it, someone with a normal height ceiling isn't going to be able to jump as high to touch the ceiling as someone with a taller ceiling. So then his ceilings might actually be the secret to how he got so good at basketball. And it's a little unfair because some people don't have ceilings as tall, and so they might not be able to do as well in basketball. And so that would not be good for them. Because if they're not doing good in basketball, then that means they're probably gonna do worse than LeBron James, which would then mean that LeBron James is still gonna end up being the best player for doing slam dunks. So yeah, so basically here's how the cycle works. So LeBron James basically does a slam dunk, and then other people try to challenge him by doing their own slam dunks. But because they can't jump as high as LeBron James, they end up doing a lot worse. And so it's actually not fair. And then the other players end up not doing as good as LeBron James. And that's basically how he stays so good at basketball, even though he's aging. And a lot of people think that maybe because LeBron James is aging, this is gonna mean he's gonna get worse at basketball because they think he's gonna forget how to play or something dumb. I don't know why they think aging's gonna hurt him. But I personally think that aging is only gonna help him, because if you ever watch movies or like a show like Breaking Bad, you'll know that the smartest people, like Mike Ehrmantraut, are always the people who are the oldest. And this is because as you get older, you learn more and more, and so you get more wise and you get more wisdom. And so I think that the fact that LeBron James is getting older might actually not be a downside, but it's probably just him getting wiser as he gets older, which means he's gonna be able to do better at basketball because he's gonna be smarter than all his opponents, which is a little bit of an unfair advantage. I think maybe they should put an age cap on the NBA, and they should make it so people who are above a certain age can't play in the NBA, because it's just too unfair when you're putting someone who has all this age and all this wisdom against people who were born in later years. Like maybe if someone was born in the year 2010, they wouldn't be able to be as good at basketball as LeBron James, purely because they don't have as much wisdom as he does, because he's older than them, and so he's probably a lot more wise when it comes to basketball than them, which could be a big thing for him. So I don't think it's fair that he does that. I think there should there should be an age cap in basketball, because it's too unfair that he's so much older than them and he's gonna and he's going to be able to do better than them in basketball because he's older. So just kind of to summarize everything up. Yeah, he's older, and so he's wiser. So that's how he does so good at basketball. Where's this guy going? Yeah, so that's basically how he does so good at basketball. So now that you guys know his trick, please don't tell him I told you guys, because he doesn't know that I'm making this video. I don't think he knows, but he's also a lot older and therefore a lot wiser than me, so I actually don't know. Maybe he does know I'm making this video. But anywho, please don't tell him, because that would not be good. But I think one of the best solutions would be to make a fund where we can get other basketball players taller ceilings, so then they can practice to beat the better players with the unfair advantages. And then this would make basketball more balanced, perhaps. Yeah, and then this would give everyone a fair chance. What? How did I lose that? Anyways, yeah, that would give everyone a more fair chance at winning basketball, and I just think that it's only fair going into the future to do this for everyone, because he's had a monopoly on basketball for the whole 40 years. Anyways, I hope you guys have a great day. I'm gonna go sleep now, so I hope you guys have a great day. Bye.